Hello, how are you? I'm great. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, cleansing breaths before I start reading. So go ahead and do it with me. You're going to breathe through your nose on the inhale, and then you're going to open your mouth and with or without sound, it's better with sound, exhale with your mouth open. And you can do it as slow as you want or push it out. So I'll do 1 slow, 2 slow, and then at the end I'll push it out. I'll try to do like all 3 different so you can see. But whatever's comfortable for you. Here we go. So do what you want. All right. I hope that woke y'all up. I have oxygen in my brain now, so maybe I can read better today. Who knows? So we were talking about, because I didn't finish that section. So we were saying 2 things to do. Go internal instead of external, and do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. So can you imagine what would have happened in the financial sector in 2008 if those people involved would have chosen to do the opposite of what recommended by financial advisors almost without exception, especially during the 6 to 18 months before the crisis manifested? This much about the financial crisis is definitely true. Those individuals who had the presence of mind and thought and the foresight to do the opposite of what the masses did are now the people who are in the best financial condition in the aftermath of the crisis. It is a tremendous life lesson for those willing to examine it. Over the past 30 years of training, Bo Yang's advice has worked well and certainly stood the test of time. What is that advice, though? It is simply a mental concept. It is a thought. It came to a master in meditation, and because it was applied in life, that master set himself out on an evolutionary process that accelerated her state of being. Here is one more thought to consider. Perhaps it will be just as significant for you as Bo Yang's advice was for me. Take the time to really think about what you want to happen in your life. Then build affirmations around those thoughts. If there is something in your body that you want to change, see and think of your body as whole and complete. In the scriptures of the world, it says that we are made in the image of God. What is this word image? Where does it come from? What does it mean? It is a mental picture. It is a thought. Think for a moment. What is your own image of yourself? Do you see yourself as some doctor or professional Do you see yourself as some doctor or professional described you? Or do you imagine yourself young again? If your leg was injured, or your arms were messed up, or you had an organ removed out of your body, what has happened to your image of yourself in your mind? Did you know that an energy level within the spirit body that surrounds your physical body right now, that organ or the limb which appears to be altered or missing is actually still there? That's so cool. That is so cool. It remains intact. It remains in the perfect image of God. In your magnetic field, an original image of God is still there. Wow, that almost makes me cry. Okay, all right, I don't want to cry today. Perhaps you might be thinking, I'd like to lose some weight, but I've tried everything, I just can't do it. Or, I'm too skinny, I can never gain weight. If you're too skinny, there is an imbalance. If doctors are telling you that you need to lose weight, there is an imbalance. Maybe the thoughts that you have had up to this point have focused only on all the stuff that you should be eating or should not be eating. Maybe you have been thinking of all the diets that are good for you or all the food that is bad for you. The food content is important, and we will talk about that during the nutrition segment. But think for a moment. What is your own mental image of your weight? Everybody sort of knows what their ideal weight should be within about 5 to 10 pounds. Have you decided consciously to think into that physical world, a specific body weight that you personally want to achieve? When physical weight is a factor, self-image really comes into play. Doctors are very clear about the mental connection to a health issue when it comes to weight and diet extremes like anorexia or bulimia. At some point, the individual looking in the mirror sees something that other people just do not see. The personal body image of that bulimic or anorexic has been altered. Who altered that image? Something happened inside that person. Somewhere along the line, their self-esteem began to change, and they no longer trusted the image they saw when they looked at themselves in the mirror. There is one immensely important thought about this topic which is so important to embrace within your own thought patterns. No matter how anyone sees you, God sees you as perfect. He sees you as his or her child, made in his or her image. He or she loves you unconditionally. And if God sees you that way, why wouldn't you also see yourself that way? The moment you do that, you become self-realized. I want to be self-realized. We want people who embrace and do Tai Chi Gong to become healthy and then share this knowledge with other people to help them become healthy. And we also want people to become self-realized. We want people to realize who and what they are. We want people to know that they are children of God. We want them to begin to see each other as children of God and begin to treat each other in the way that you would treat someone who was a child of God. The mind is also at play when we look and deal with each other. How we hold each other in our thoughts is very important. Here is a discipline to consider putting to a test in real life. For a moment, take the person who is the symbol of divinity and perfection to you personally. It might be Jesus or Mother Mary. If you're in the Orient, it might be Buddha or Kuan Yin. If you're in the Middle East, it might be Mohammed or Shams Tabrizi. Take that person and keep them in mind, and when you get up tomorrow and or in the midst of your day, when you see someone that you currently have some difficulty with, place your personal perfect symbol of divinity inside that person that you are having trouble with. If you do this once, imagine what would happen. If you did this every day and all the time, what would happen? That is the power of the mind. The mind has the ability to draw forth the perfect image of that person. Your mind can do this, and every other human being can do this. That really means that we are as a human race. It means that we as a human race have the power of resurrection, if you understand who and what you are. In the same light, following the same train of thought, the creative and regenerative potential of your mind is truly profound. On a practical level, what do you suppose are the consequences for your career when you don't have the image of the perfect job in your mind? What happens in your life if you have never stopped to consider what your image of the perfect mate is for you? Will you ever draw that person into your life? Unfortunately, the process of the mind is very precise. If you do not have that image, it just won't happen. If you carry someone else's image as your own, you will attract their perfect person, not your own. So it is important to meditate and pray and counsel and learn to liberate your thinking, and then get clear with yourself about what it is that you truly want in your life. A good beginning place to start your meditations and prayers about what you want in your life is to embrace the understanding that you are truly beautiful. Know that God created you that way, and He wants you to work on His team. It truly doesn't matter if you profess an organized religion or not. God did not create religions. Man created religions. God created human beings and sons and daughters in His and her image. That is the way He wants us to act. He or she wants us to get off our knees praying to an unknown God and be the wonderful creation He made us to be, and start seeing this wonderful creation in others. Pick someone that you see on a daily basis or weekly basis, and in your mind, when you approach that person, say to yourself, I see this person full of love and full of light. It's radiating out from them, and when I come up to them, they're just going to respond in the most beautiful way. If you're a Democrat, see Republicans this way. If you're a Republican, see Democrats in this way. Can you imagine what would happen in the world if this were to happen? What would happen if people really started to treat each other like that? It would be incredible. And if you practice Tai Chi Gong long enough, it will open up your heart and the coldness will just fall apart. All the ice and all the pain around our hearts, all the abandonment issues, all the trauma, all the stuff that we like to hold on to will just drop away. We will simply let it go. And even the letting go begins with a simple thought. It's that easy. Sounds easy, but we can do it. So he mentions in here, and other spiritual leaders mention God as he and she, because it says they created us, in their image. God created us in their image. And so we are female and male physical form here on, planet Earth. And so a lot of people believe that God, because God isn't, just like in physical form, like, old man with a beard, So if God is just present as an energy, and he created us in their image, he is male and female. So that's a new concept. And if you've never heard of it before, or you heard it but you just dismissed it, you never really thought about it before, it is foreign. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it, because I've always, you see pictures of God reaching, the hand of God reaching down to man, God as a, gray, white male with a big beard. So it is possible that God is man. There's two gods, man and woman together. I don't know. I even want to say. So but that's why that's like that in there. The first time early on I saw it and I corrected it and I just said the God, but I'm not going to correct it anymore. I'm not going to change the words. Yeah, that's the only time I've ever changed this word. I just came across it and it said, she or he, and I just said he. So that was chapter 2. We ended chapter 2. Yay, finally. So we'll start chapter 3 tomorrow, which will be breath. So this first chapter was talking about the mind. So if you missed the chapters 1 and 2, chapter 1 was chi, chapter 2 was mind, and now we're about to start chapter 3, which is breath. And then chapter 4 is movement, and that's the first 4, not elements, but sections on the Tai Chi 101, basic Tai Chi. So today I recorded the longest running short form Tai Chi Gong routine that is done all over the world, and it's from Dirchan, Tibet. So you can laugh at it because it's horrible. It's the first time I have followed him and did the movements. I had watched it one day and I was like, oh no, that looks so hard. And so I went through it and I recorded myself following him, and it's not perfect or graceful at all, but I look forward to looking back at it and laughing at myself when I can go through that thing just nice and perfect, and without his direction, and just doing it. So one day my goal is to probably cry, so somewhere, I don't know, India or Egypt or New York City, or maybe San Antonio, or, somewhere in a group of people, in a park, on grass, barefoot, doing this short routine with, people from all over the world that do Tai Chi. Just that basic, short routine. And just knowing it, not have to look at it as somebody. Just, I can close my eyes and just, do that. And that would just be like so cool to be able to do that in a group, like in a park somewhere, and know it inside and out like the back of my hand. So that's my goal. So go ahead and watch that video. It's funny. And try it. You can follow along and see if you can. It's hard, when you don't know what you're doing and out and trying to look at him and turn around. I'm not supposed to be looking this way, but I have the TV here. And so I have my phone right in front of the TV. So like the first time I recorded, the TV was here, my phone was recording here. Or something, like I kept looking around. So now I try to put my phone right by the TV. And so I can look at, you and into the recording and the TV at the same time. So it doesn't look so weird, me looking away. So, but it's funny. It's very funny. So y'all have a wonderful day. We're going to take 3 more breaths. So take 3 more breaths with me if you don't mind. Okay, number 1. Very nice. Very relaxing. And you can do that anywhere at any time. On a plane, at work, in traffic, at the store when someone's upsetting you, at home and there might be chaos around you. So your breath, that's it. Just concentrate on your breath. That's all you got to do. And if you've never meditated before and you don't know how to meditate, or you feel weird about meditation, especially if you're so indoctrinated in religion, and you think that meditation is something from the East, tied to an Eastern religion, and it's wrong. I know it can be scary to meditate thinking, you're wondering, am I doing something wrong? But you can pray about that and just ask Jesus, like, Jesus, I've been going to church my whole life. It's all I know. It's all I know. And I'm familiar with it, and I'm comfortable with it, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing. But, I've heard of meditation. LaVon suggesting meditation. I just don't know about that. She's crazy. She's out there. I just feel like maybe it's wrong or maybe it's bad. Like, dear God, dear Jesus, Holy Spirit, please press upon my heart if I should meditate or not. If meditation is good or bad. It does say in the Bible that I read, to pray and meditate on God's Word. So I've been praying my whole life. Maybe I've been meditating in my own form and I didn't know that it was meditation. But now when LaVon asked me to meditate, I'm thinking meditation from, a monk, or meditation from, religion that's not my religion, and I just don't want to do that. So God, please let me know if just sitting in silence and concentrating on my breath is okay to do. When you ask that, it almost sounds silly. He's like, I know God laughs at us sometimes. Yeah, I think it's okay for you to sit there and concentrate on your breath. You're not sinning and going to hell. So sorry. So, just, that's meditation. Washing the dishes, not in the dishwasher, but washing the dishes can be meditative. You just you change your mind. Like when you're driving and you're not with anybody and you're not, you can almost kind of zone out, and when you see like, oh, wow, I'm already here at my destination. I don't even remember passing, highway, whatever, exit, whatever. Like you kind of zoned out and you were in a state of meditation. So when you're sitting there watching TV or a movie and then you just kind of like you're kind of staring at it, and then you're like, oh, I need to rewind this because I wasn't paying attention. You're zoning out. Like if you were in school and you looked out the window and you started just kind of staring at the tree, and then like you kind of zoned out and you didn't even hear the teacher, that is a form of meditation. Your mind is altered just a little bit from one state to another, and you relax, and you are in your present moment, not the environment around you, but like you just kind of zoop, and you're in your little space and bubble. That's meditation. So when you concentrate and meditate on purpose, that's like accidental meditation. You just got to go there and you don't even realize it, and you kind of snap out of it like, whoa, where was I? Or you're talking to somebody, and they're like, you're like, hello, are you listening to me? They're like, yeah, wow, I'm sorry. Your mind goes somewhere else. So that's all meditation is. You're just, calming your mind. You're focusing on your breath. You're relaxing. You say a mantra or you don't, but you're just relaxing and you're escaping from the world and just coming like internal and just relaxing your mind, relaxing your body. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're not chanting things that we don't know the meaning of it. We're not chanting things to another god. We're not worshiping another god or anything else in our meditations. That would be wrong. God doesn't want us to do that. There's Psalms in the Bible. We can just repeat Psalms. I'll have to get my Bible out and look up. But I was reading that somewhere yesterday on another channel, and just how to chant Psalms. And some churches do that. I think it was a Lutheran pastor that was online, because I was just looking up something else and just a video came up. So we could say, make up your own little thing to say. If you want to, you don't have to do that. But just sitting still and listening to God, relaxing and breathing. You're listening to nature. I can hear a rooster and doves and a little bit of traffic from the distance. I can hear a bird chirping. Got a good rain here last night, so everything is wet outside. I don't have to water my garden today. That's nice. So when you're trying to meditate and a thought does come into your mind, it is impossible for us normal human beings, maybe a monk in a cave somewhere can clear his mind for an hour or a day, but we can't. So as the thought comes to us, like it just happened to me, like, oh yeah, it rained last night, cool. I acknowledge that thought, and there's different ways you can do it. Just, great, it rained last night, and then, move it aside. And some people, set it on a little cloud and just, push or blow away the cloud so that thought will go away. So you don't like get mad, oh, I can't believe that I had a thought. I'm supposed to clear my mind. It shouldn't be a struggle. So the thoughts are going to come. It's what you do with those thoughts. Then I thought, oh, good, I don't need to, water my garden. Great, Lavon, you don't have to water your garden, So I was like, okay, I had that thought. That thought came into my head while I'm trying to meditate. While I'm trying to not clear my mind 100%, but calm my mind. I'm going to put that thought in a little cloud. I don't have to water my garden today. Thank you, God. And then go concentrate back on my breathing. I had another thought. I was downloading a video onto YouTube, and I'm like, I wonder if that video is done downloading. I mean, on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to put that little thought on a cloud. Push it away. That was cool. I went that long without a big thought. There was like teeny, that was really cool. It was observation, my own observation right now. So I had little teeny, like they almost formed, they were like out in a distance, but they didn't form. They didn't come at me like, you don't have to, you know, you have to water the garden. No, it rained last night. I don't have to water the garden. You know, that was a big thought. It was there in my mind. So there was like, my mind was kind of clear, and there was teeny, they weren't even a complete thought, but I knew that my mind was trying to reach for a thought because it's so used to, the mind is helping me, you know, organize my day, remember things I need to do. And I'm grateful for that. If our mind didn't do that, then we wouldn't get things done and we'd have dementia. You know, we don't want that. So I'm glad that my mind is working. I'm so happy. Thank you, mind, for working. Thank you for reminding me that I have to water the garden, but it rains, so I don't. But thanks, you know, because every morning at this time I water the garden. So my mind, our mind is brilliant. Thank you, God, for our crazy, awesome, wonderful mind. But right there, I was having little teeny distant thoughts, but they never formed, and they never came to me like something I had to address. So that was cool. And that was I don't know if that was a minute. If I went a minute doing that, that is great. That's very good. So that's all meditation is. You don't have to be scared of it. You don't have to think that it's bad. And, you know, if you want to make sure that it's along the lines of your religious belief, which is fine, and there is no judgment there from me or God or anybody, just keep it to where it feels safe with, you know, for you, how you want to meditate. I had started deep breathing exercises and meditation at the Wellness Center here, and I had people come, and I just wanted to make sure that they knew that this was just a wholesome, you know, clean space where they could come and relax. I did stretching. I had stretching, breathing, and meditation. And I didn't want it to be Eastern. I didn't want it to be the way that they, you know, meditate in China or India, because I didn't want the folks here, the people here, to be uncomfortable thinking, you know, that LaVon is doing something bad and she's leading us down the road that's bad. So I just kept it so, I didn't keep it Western. It wasn't Western meditation, but it wasn't Eastern meditation. It was just getting together with a small group of people, stretching, breathing, and, you know, concentrating on our breath. And so it was cool. And there was one lady that came, and she came once, maybe twice, but she wanted the Eastern, you know, she wanted the, you know, I don't know, there's mudras that you can do, and I've done a little bit of them, but I don't do it a lot, you know, but she wanted the, she wanted that, and I wasn't offering that, so she didn't come back, which is fine. And she can do that at home. And I'm not saying anything about that. I don't do that. I don't practice that, but I could. You know, I can do a 15-minute video of me sitting here with you and going, Shanti, Shanti. I don't know. I don't even know them, but I've heard them. You know, I've seen them on the YouTube videos. There's nothing wrong or bad. There's Om is it's like I am. It's God. The God. It's Alpha and Omega. The word Om. Because you can't describe God. You can try to describe God, but he's indescribable. So Om is just a pure sound that someone tried to make to, you know, the sound of God. So Om is not wrong. It's not bad. It's O-M. It's A-U-M. So it's just, it's three parts. So it's not Om. It's like Om. So I'm going to do it once in case you're curious. I'm going to do it one more time. So I don't meditate like that, but I've been in a couple places where, you know, they did that a couple of times, and it's cool when you're in a group of people doing that, making the sound of, you know, God, Alpha and Omega, the great I am. That's really cool when you're in a group of people doing that. I've experienced that once last December in Miami. So you can meditate like that if you want, but if you don't. There's different forms of meditation, but meditating is not bad. But it's how you do it that's comfortable for you and your heart and with your relationship with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. So I'm never going to make anybody do anything that they don't feel comfortable with. Well, they're not going to, but why would I even try that? So I'm not doing any funny business here. Not trying to, do the devil's work or introduce something new to people to, that would bring them harm or disharmony or, confusion to their body. It should be natural. Like you should actually, your whole body, remember your whole body is your heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Your whole body should be attracted to it because it's natural and it is from God. But you just make it to have your mind and your heart can accept it, and so you can incorporate it into your, your daily routine. So, I love you. None of this is planned. I don't have anything written down. I don't know what I'm going to say, because again, I don't know what's going to come up in this book. And so when I read it, and then I also very, very highly in tuned to my spiritual team, and as God puts presses the thoughts into my mind and in my heart, I just say it. So it's very cool every day, the messages that come through and what God leads me to say on these videos. So I hope you're enjoying them. Please, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I will answer them. I love you. Mwah. Bye.